Thomas, you woken up yet?
What was the question again? Yes, I'm fully primed and ready to go.
Okite kudasai. That means get the hell up in my classroom. Wake up.
You use that often, I can imagine, from what you've told me before.
What? What? I feel attacked. How did you know?
Have you brought out the paper fan yet, is the question.
Oh, I just do that with textbooks.
You go straight in there.
Well, no, I don't hit them on the head with textbooks. I just, instead of poking them, I just kind of waft their face with the textbook. Wake up. Oh, hello, welcome to Geeks and Gaijins. I'm the Gaijin John.
I'm the Geek Tom.
And welcome to Japan, the podcast. The only podcast you need for all your Japan.
It is, in fact, the only Japan podcast.
The only one.
Don't go anywhere else. You won't find any.
No, exactly. Only this one.
There's only one that exists, the Geeks and Gaijin podcast.
Yeah.
The one-stop shop for all things Japanese.
Yeah.
Hosted by two Englishmen.
Yes. Though, to be honest, I'm not sure the Japanese know podcast exists yet. I'm sure there are, but it's still in the peak indie movement. It's not in the BBC Spotify thing of we own all the podcasts now.
I was going to say that you'd think it'd be weird for the Japanese subculture to just stop at podcasts for some reason, but then again, I remember that their understanding of the internet is relaxed, to say the least. So, yeah.
I was listening to a podcast about computers, and one of them, it was talking about, this was a couple of years ago, the Japanese Minister for Technology, who admitted upon gaining the role that he had never used a computer.
You know what? I would be outraged at that, but it's not like there are many countries that don't have similar stories at some point. So
I will maintain his side of the story, and he said he had only ever used it in work. So that was where his phrasing came from. He has never used it in his personal life. The main thing is here, because of lack of spacey stuff, generally lots of people, like if you're doing stuff, it needs to work on a smartphone. Smartphones are big here. Though some of my deputy heads and teachers I know do still have flip phones. And that's what they use all the time. It's one of Finland's only exports.
Fish. Lots of fish.
Fish, Nokia, and lots of angry birds. Anyway, what are we doing today, Thomas?
I believe you have a series of holidays to discuss.
Yay!
Because it's currently in the Japanese calendar an event known as Golden Week.
Well, an event is about to start. We are kind of just at the beginning as of recording. This will actually come out on the first day of Golden Week. So that's, yeah.
So I was right in a certain roundabout way.
Totally planned that.
This is how I get most of my facts right, by just being vague enough for it to be technically correct.
Yes, so the main thing is Golden Week. Then we have snack break as usual, where I eat random Japanese stuff that I shove in my face, regardless of calories. And Thomas has something to blindside me with.
Yes, we have an announcement for Sony about one of their latest projects in the works that I think John is going to have some stronger feelings about.
Oh dear.
So I'm keeping it surprised just to see what his raw, uncut reaction is.
Keep tuned in for that, listeners. But first of all, Golden Week.
Yes, Golden Week. What is Golden Week?
Golden Week is Golden Week is Golden Week, Tom.
Cool. All right. Podcast ended.
End of segment. Bye, guys. No, so Golden Week is one of the main holiday seasons in Japan. It is up there with basically New Year and Obon. And we'll talk about what Obon is when we get to Obon.
What time of year is Obon?
Obon is late summer.
Oh, okay. A while off then.
Yeah. A best equivalent is Obon is Japanese Christmas. Everything that we do at Christmas, Japanese do at Obon. But Golden Week It's something if you've played a bunch of Japanese video games, as which most of them do focus around high schoolers, you get loads of days off around Golden Week. Yay! Because it is one of the only times in the Japanese calendar that you have multiple public holidays all at the same time.
Yes, because Japan doesn't like to spread out its holidays. Everyone's got to work, and then you have all your holidays at once. Get it out of the way, over with, so you get back to work straight away.
No, pretty much that's it. Like, you'll get occasional 3-day weekends, and that's kind of it. That's the national holiday kind of cycle. You'll get, this one's on Monday. I think there was actually a law recently that made it so they had to all be on Mondays or Fridays, apart from like some very, very special one-off ones. So you don't have to stop. Except Golden Week ones, because yeah.
Don't want to mess with Golden Week, that's our boy.
Golden Week is an unofficial term because it's really just a collection of a bunch of different holidays all together. So what
None of this was planned.
No. What lots of people do is take time off on like the 2 days in between weekends and stuff. So you end up getting a load of holiday for like small use of your time off. It is maximizing time off usage.
Very nice.
So you gotta maximize that time off. Min-max your time off. So Golden Week is technically 4 holidays plus the 2 sets of weekends around it. Currently this year, April 29th, so the Wednesday that you should be listening to this if you're a good boy and girl, when you listen to it on the day it's released, that is Showa Day, or Showa no Hi. Then the next one is May 3rd, which if it's on a Sunday, then means it gets moved. The holiday then gets moved to the end of the next row. So if there wasn't a holiday on that Monday, it would then get moved.
It's very nice.
Yeah, so May 3rd is Constitution Day, or Kempo Kinebi. Then May 4th is Greenery Day, also called Midori no Hi. And day 5 is Children's Day, or Kodomo no Hi. So essentially, that leaves this Wednesday being a holiday, the Thursday and Friday not being, then 5-day weekend, Saturday through to Wednesday, and then 2 days of work, Thursday, Friday. So many people take those 4 days off, so they then get essentially 12 days off, 12 whole days off.
Ooh, that is nice.
Yeah, because essentially this is one of the only times in all of Japan that Japanese people actually take holiday.
Oh.
Though because of the current event, people are recommended not to travel during Golden Week. And also water has been requested not to be wet. So yeah, those are Golden Week. And essentially everyone travels to big tourist destinations. Everything gets packed because all of Japan decides to move around for 2 weeks and then settle down a bit.
Everyone goes down to the beach, do they?
Yeah, essentially. Especially, not so much right now, because it's usually after Sakura, but usually everything has started to get warmer now. So it's starting to get up to like peaks of about 20 degrees during the day. But this is quite a cold spring, so it's not done that yet. But this is the time. It's the Japanese Easter holidays. Easter holidays with more time off.
Ooh, very nice.
So first of all, we will start on the Wednesday holiday. That is Showa Day, or Showa no Hi, is celebrated on the birthday of a former emperor. Yay! Well, yay. That being the Emperor Showa, because we've kind of talked about emperor names. Thomas, do you remember who the Emperor Showa was?
There's so many emperors, my dude.
You will know him by a different name.
Of course I will, because the emperors have 2 names.
Yes, he died a whole 14 Final Fantasies ago. Long reference.
For the people listening to the podcast for the first time, or for myself, could you please tell us who the heck Emperor Showa was?
Yes, so Emperor Showa is known in the West as Emperor Hirohito. Because in Japan, after an emperor dies, he gets given the name of the era that he reigned over. So Hirohito reigned during the Showa era, so he is called the Emperor Showa. Those who don't know, only died in 1989. That's the Final Fantasy references. Therefore, his birthday was made into a holiday in 2006.
Is that exceptional for emperors?
Hirohito specifically is kind of difficult because obviously Second World War, but also he's not seen as so connected to that kind of stuff. The Emperor's birthday is a national holiday here in Japan, so you
Yes.
do get obviously this is slightly controversial because it's Emperor Hirohito. Watch any World War II documentary, ever. You're in isolation. You've got time. But essentially, he died in 1989. And so since then, basically on that day in 1989 when he died, it stopped being Emperor's birthday, but instead it was Greenery Day. And then, because Greenery Day was invented in 1989. And Showa Day didn't exist, but then in 2006 it came back because reason. I think the day that Greenery Day was going to be on since 1985 was a national holiday anyway. It was just a not specific one.
Weird.
However, according to the now defunct Democratic Party of Japan, this was the opposition party. Japanese politics is difficult, but according to this, the purpose of the holiday is to encourage public reflection on the turbulent 63 years of Hirohito's reign.
Do people actually take any time to consider the dude, or do they just go, hey, holiday, let's do it?
It's a holiday. It's a holiday.
Yeah, any excuse for a holiday sounds like a good one for me.
Japan doesn't really see the emperor as connected to World War II because essentially it's very complicated history, but essentially pre-World War II, the emperor was a divine figure who was never seen, never mentioned, and everyone just did stuff in his stead. So an awful lot of the World War II is essentially done by Hirohito's ministers and not himself, if that makes sense. He's not like a mastermind behind it. He's more of a puppet.
Yeah.
Then when the American occupation happens, basically everything gets de-deified. So the emperor has to sign a thing saying, I am not a god anymore. And so from then on, people actually see the emperor. So it becomes a really interesting thing of he has so many different things happen in his reign. He is emperor for 63 years.
That a lot happens in 63 years.
Exactly. That's kind of the thing. That's why, and especially Japan isn't the best at reflecting on World War II. It's getting better, but it's
yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, there's a long list of reasons, I imagine.
This is an episode on holidays. Yay. We should do an episode on things to do with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Basically, so much happens. You have the end of democracy, then you have democracy coming back, you have the Summer Olympics and Paralympics, you have the post-war economic miracle, you just have so much happens in Japan that Showa / Hirohito is associated with.
It's pretty similar in span to the Queen's reign here in England, because she was around for World War II as well. Obviously, she's lived a lot longer, and I don't think England's had quite so many drastic changes as Japan has experienced under the American reoccupation. So they're not one-to-one comparable, but it gives you a good perspective on just how much history has been happening.
Yeah, I think it's hard, and especially Japan, for better or for worse, has a quite inward look at stuff. So especially for the 40 plus years after the Second World War, Japan doesn't really concern itself with elsewhere that much.
Yeah, we've already discussed how Japan kind of just has Japan and everything else, and the only time it really cares about anything else is if everything else has something it wants.
Moving on, I thought I'd do quickly Greenery Day, the day that replaced Showa Day.
What did you call this again? What's the Japanese word for this?
Midori no Hi. Midori means green.
No one tell me that Midori means green.
Yes, Midori means green.
No one tell me this.
Yes, Deku Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia. His last name literally means green. He is green. He is Green Naruto, and his name means green.
What does Izuku mean?
I have no clue.
I've got to look that up. But
Okay.
carry on. Tell me about Greenery Day.
Apparently, getting away from whatever we were just talking about then, it's a holiday to acknowledge the late emperor's then love of plants, without mentioning his name.
Well,
Yeah.
anyone who loves plants can't be a bad person. Sorry.
Okay.
What does Greenery
Please
Day entail anything else?
Please send your angry letters to... Well, you can't send them to me because Japan is currently blocking all outside post.
Does the Green Day entail any actual activity, or is it just another one of those, hey, here's a free holiday, have it?
Pretty much. It was a holiday regardless, like before, but it was just a indiscriminate holiday. It was just kind of, yeah, here's a holiday day. What's it for? Yeah. This happens a lot with lots of Japanese stuff. It's like I had kids at my school asking me what happens at May Day in the UK. Well, I'm like, if you're a crazy guy, you go and do Morris dancing. But 99.9% of the population stays at home and enjoys a long weekend.
Heck yeah.
Bar the whole Golden Week thing of just going out and going on holiday, like, it's going to be like anywhere. Like, not everyone is going to be dressing up as Uncle Sam and going to go put a shrimp on the Barbie on the 4th of July. I think I'm getting my nationalities confused. So I am being the most stereotypical about Japan as I can be, because this is a podcast that should not be totally taken seriously. I think we're classified as a comedy podcast. Please do not take your social economic views from a comedy podcast.
We're either listed under comedy or entertainment, and either category is a lie, because we're neither of those things.
The next day is Constitution Day. What do you think happened on Constitution Day, Tom?
Is it the new constitution came in from the good old US of A?
Yes, it was exactly that. Well done. You get a cookie.
Oh boy, can't wait for like a whole couple months before I get that cookie from the mail.
Yeah, it's 1947. It is something that every other country tends to have, bar the UK. We're not very used to it. It's a national day of, yay, we have a constitution now. Because the UK still doesn't have one, kids.
Can we have a Magna Carta Day?
Yay, Runnymede. And we all just dress up as the lion from Robin Hood. Maybe my knowledge of history is slightly affected by Disney.
Don't encourage the kind of people who would like to go out dressed up as the Lion and Robin Hood. That's a dangerous sort of energy you're bringing to the UK there. We're not ready for it.
That's getting a live-action remake, by the way, if you didn't know.
I'm sure it is. Are they actually going to do the full anthropomorphized animals again? How far into production are they?
I saw one title and I did not want to ruin the weird Lion King-shaped image that I have in my head.
You're imagining Lion King. I'm imagining Cats, the motion picture.
Oh, God. God, no. Ah! Oh, don't do it. It massacred my boy. No. Oh, dear. Anyway, yes, you have Kempo Kinebi. That is the new post-war Constitution Day. Then May 5th, finally, you have Children's Day, which sounds totally not weird.
Hey, hold on. We had this argument back when I was a 5-year-old. We had Mother's Day and Father's Day here, and all the kids were like, wait, when do we get Kids' Day? And then, quite rightly, the teachers went, every day is Kids' Day. But wait, Japan actually has a Kids' Day?
Yeah, it's May 5th. That's the answer to all your kids. When's Children's Day? Men 5th? It's March 5th. March 5th, May 5th. Ah!
John, are you okay, John?
No, I'm not.
Inside ruined your brain.
I'm staying inside alone currently. I am self-isolating.
Does Japan just only have one day to celebrate children, and every day they have to behave themselves and be good little boys and girls?
Well, if you remember, long ago, I think it was around February or March. That's maybe why I was thinking of March. We talked about Hinamatsu Day.
We did indeed.
Which was originally for girls. It was Girls' Day, essentially. And so 5th of May was originally meant to be for boys. So you had a boys' day and a girls' day.
Have the two combined then, and that means Hinamatsu is just its own sort of general thing as well now.
Yeah, because Hinamatsu Day wasn't really a girls' day. It was more a doll-based holiday thing. Japan gets 2 Children's Days. These go back to like the 8th century or something stupid.
Do the kids get little presents or something on Kids' Day? Or
apparently on Kids' Day, you're supposed to fly carp streamers, which are like the fish. They're the windy fish wind socks things, which are called koin no bori, which means carp streamer in Japanese. You then get to display samurai dolls and eat chimaki, which is just it's rice dumplings. You get to eat rice dumplings. Most Japanese holidays rely on eating some kind of dumpling.
Gotta have them. They're good stuff.
Until 1948, it was known as Boys' Day, also known as Feast of Banners, which sounds like a much better holiday name.
That's a band name right there. Feast of Banners.
Feast of Banners. That feels like something out of a Shakespearean sonnet. Oh, fair maiden, what day be it today? Oh, it be Feast of Banners, my lord. And then we shall feast upon St. Swithin's Day, and all shall be gay.
Yes.
I got a bit too carried away there. Like, you're supposed to have different numbers of carp based on...
Wait, what?
Well, based on how many kids you have. So you've got daddy carp, you've got the black carp at the top, then you've got red carp just under, that's the mama. Then you've got the last carp is essentially traditionally the son. You basically add more fish on depending on how many kids you have.
Daddy carp, mommy carp,
No, don't you dare get that in my head. Don't you dare.
I might have just made some people very uncomfortable. Alternatively, I could do Big Fish, Little Fish, Cardboard Box. But...
No. I deny it. I will edit it out if you do it. Basically, that's the holidays that are behind Golden Week. It's weird, though I will say that last year I missed it. We didn't just have Golden Week, we had Platinum Week.
Go on.
Because we had a new emperor last year, the 1st of May was made another holiday. And as the 29th of April and the 3rd of May were already holidays, this caused the 30th of April and the 2nd of May to be public holidays as well, which I don't know how it causes holidays cause each other to be holidays. It seems like holiday dominoes. However,
so
this means...
we're not going into work those days either.
Yeah, pretty much. This made 2019's Golden Week 10 consecutive days of national holiday.
Yeah, brother. Gotta get them.
Though currently this year, Tokyo residents are being advised to stay at home. I'll let you try and translate this very complicated Japanese, Thomas. What do you think a stay home shukan is?
Self-isolation?
It's stay home week.
Okay.
It's literally that.
Hey.
Stay home week.
Japan, how about you try like a golden month instead this year? Maybe stretch it out to a golden season. Who knows?
Apparently, like, the name Golden Week might have come from a Japanese radio show.
95.5 of the Weasel.
Pretty much, because apparently Golden Time was the Japanese, like, phrase used for prime time, aka the period with the highest listener ratings. So Golden Week was the time that most people were at home and therefore listening to radio.
Ooh.
So we got to know our golden time. Our golden time.
Every time is golden time on the Geeks and Gaijins podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Okay, so now that was Golden Week. Yes, what are my plans for Golden Week? Staying inside.
Good for you. That sounds perfect.
That's depressing. Snacks.
Snacks. More throwing of bags around John's room.
I like throwing things. Yeah.
That one didn't sound like it came down. Oh, goodness.
We are having Jaga Choco.
I'll give everyone 3 seconds to guess what Jaga Choco is.
And you're all wrong.
It won't be what you expect. Number 3 will surprise you.
Choco is obviously chocolate. Jaga, I assume, is short for jagamono, which is Japanese for potato.
Already off to a bad start.
These are chocolate-covered crisps. Or chocolate
chips.
covers potato chips for our American listeners.
Yes, I just realised after I said it that saying chocolate chips doesn't actually sound bad because that's what we call the little droplets of chocolate.
Yeah, no, These are, once again, this is Japan, like, alien logic of, what do they eat in America? They eat chocolate chips. Let's get some of those over here. No, that's not what you do.
It's either that or Japan just thought, what are two really popular foods? Crisps and chocolate. Clearly, they'll be even more popular if we put them together.
I'm just imagining trying to make chocolate chip cookies with chocolate potato chips.
No!
Now, the thing is, listeners, they are actual, like, they almost look like kettle chips, which are, like, they're the ridged chips. Thomas can see
I
it.
can just about make it out, yeah.
Yeah, so it's, like, they're not, like, they've somehow made it with, like, chocolate dust in it. They are literally just covered in chocolate.
Yes.
Jagaimo is potato.
Jagaimo.
It says hitokuchi, which means bite or mouthful.
It means bite size.
Why does this exist? Why? Anyway,
They definitely look bite size. That's not a very large packet.
You can get large ones. I just bought the bite-sized ones. You can get full-sized ones.
But they look like they balance quite evenly on a finger.
Yeah, so oh dear. Oh my. These just look wrong. Thomas can...
It's not very elegantly covered, no.
It looks like someone made a chocolate button with a tiny crisp at the center.
They are button size, aren't they? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not evenly spread. There's just like a dollop of it in the middle, and obviously it's got stuck in the ridges. But that one looks like someone dipped that in by hand.
Oh my, what have I got myself in for today?
I cannot wait to hear what kind of crisp this is. It might just be plain.
Yeah, I hope they're plain. Once again, Thomas, I will reiterate from before the podcast, they're probably not cheese and onion, because I don't think that exists outside the UK. I really don't.
I'm pretty sure it's not prawn cocktail either.
Oh, God. Well, those are foul regardless. All right, itadakimasu.
This is fun. I get to see John's live reaction this time.
Questions.
Yes.
So the chips have no flavor, like the crisps themselves have no flavor. They are just used as basically, they're a crunchy center to be covered in chocolate, which makes them good, and I'm not okay with that.
Does it enhance the experience of eating chocolate?
Like, yeah. It like has a small crunchy middle in it. It's almost like eating Maltesers a bit. I'm trying to think if there's some American equivalent of Maltesers. I have no idea. Just go find some good chocolate. I'm concerned because this is really good, and that is breaking my mind.
We got it, boys. Japan finally broke John.
That's not. They're a bit like, you know, when you were a kid, you had like dried like banana chips or like dried slices of banana.
I would never have had those as a kid because I was a very fussy eater and hated banana. But I understand what you're trying to explain, so carry on.
It's kind of like that crunchy texture that then got covered in chocolate. And it's like, I'm half expecting it to taste of banana, and it doesn't. But I think it's also because you can see the yellow, and my brain is trying to trick me into going banana and chocolate. Those things go together, rather than these things that I've thought of since birth do not combine. I'm speechless, which I don't really know how to convey on an audio format, but...
He is blown away. He does not know what to do with himself.
I guess I need to go home and rethink my life.
Ah, he's there already. Marvellous.
Yeah, so that is Jaga Choco. Thomas, you have something to shock my little socks off.
I feel like your socks have already been shocked clean off, and I'm worried about the state of your toes after
bear with me. I'll put them back on.
There we go. Give him a second to reposition him.
There we are. Socks are thoroughly on. The same with trousers and pantalones. I'm holding on to my chair.
I'll try to ease you into it a little bit, but it's going to disappoint you slightly.
I've got the armrests. Holding on to the armrests. Okay,
so for some context, a while back, when John was still in the UK, he and I went to go see a James Cameron adaptation of Alita Battle Angel, a classic manga staple of Japanese culture, and we both had a pretty good time watching it. I don't know how much of our conversation after it you remember, but one thing I said after seeing all the robots and cyborgs and stuff in it was that I now knew exactly what Geijins from One Punch Man would look like if they were ever to make a live-action adaptation.
Okay. I was thinking this was going towards an Alita Battle Angel sequel that I haven't heard of, but
it's not, unfortunately.
No, my hopes up.
Sony has recently announced that they are developing a film based on the One Punch Man manga series.
Okay.
Not a lot of information has been announced about it so far. It's just fresh off the presses. But apparently, the writers for One Punch Man movie will be the writers of Venom. John, you look like you have a lot of different feelings about this right now.
Well, first of all, a lot of my hope for anything related to One Punch Man basically fell out as soon as I watched season 2. So
that's going to put a stand. Yeah, that's going to stain the image a bit.
And the thing is, I love the people who make season 2 because they also make Shokugeki no Soma, which is one of my favorite animes. So like, I am not biased against these people. I just thought season 2 was pretty goddamn bad. I have questions.
I do not have answers, but I want to hear your questions.
Okay, so first, those who don't know, One Punch Man, it's one of the most popular anime series of all time. It started from a manga webcomic. It is about a superhero who can defeat anything with one punch. Yes, I was just half thinking who should be cast as Saitama, and my immediate thoughts, I don't know how this shows how much of a nerd I am, goes to the only bold celebrity I can immediately think of, which is Patrick Stewart.
Oh, I would love that. Oh, so much.
My brain was already kind of like, oh, I'm okay with that. Yeah, he's already had experience being in superhero movies. He's been Professor X. So now it'll be mostly CGI anyway.
Tempting. He'd have to fight either Vin Diesel or Bruce Willis for the title, though. So...
Oh, God.
And it's definitely going to Vin Diesel out of that.
No, don't. Oh, as someone who's recently, don't ask me why, I hate myself, watched all the 7 of the, like in the last 2 months, watched all of the Fast and the Furious movies. Me and some friends were preparing ourselves for the new one to be released, and then that didn't happen, so we just looked like fools. Vin Diesel he's an individual who also, side note, loves Dungeons and Dragons. So he is friend of the show. Please, Vin Diesel, please come on. I know you listen along with Shinzo Abe in your little treehouse. He should not be Saitama. He has emotions.
Good.
They are not suitable emotions for someone who is bored with being a superhero.
Are you telling me that Vin Diesel's delivery can't convey absolute apathy if he wants it to?
Yes, because Vin Diesel is love his little cotton socks, always trying. And Bruce Willis should go sit somewhere and get a timeout. I'm just there's so many questions that are just coming on. Like, one, what part of the manga? Like, how do you make a film out of that manga? Where do you begin, start, middle, and end it? Because he is not a good protagonist. Like, it's his whole thing is he is a parody of superhero protagonists, and that would make an extremely boring movie because he doesn't have a backstory you can do. Because his backstory is he did a bunch of press ups, and just became the strongest hero. I suppose you try and just adapt the full first season, but that
there's some fights that just won't work for live action.
Yeah, and Saitama it's just going to be less impressive.
It'll be really sad.
Like, there's no way, unless you like do a cel-shaded live action, which it won't be, there's no way to not make it just a worse version of season 1. Because season 1, if you haven't gone to go see it, it's amazing. It is some of the best action animation, I think, ever.
Yeah, that one was produced by Madhouse, and they've got a really good director and team working on that. So they put a lot of effort into making the fights really good.
Yeah. And not
in a way that you just can't replicate one-to-one in live action.
And I don't want to be one of those fanboys going, no, you can't adapt it into live action. No, not my Saitama. No, it just feels like there is no. Not like there is no reason to do. Yes, no, there is no reason to do this. There is absolutely no reason to do this. Excuse me, John. There is one reason. What's that, Sony? Money. Yes, thank you. Please go corner now, please. And so the writers of the Venom. By all note, I have not seen the Venom movie. I have heard it is trash. I've heard
it made a lot of money for Sony, is the thing.
Yes, but I also heard there was like weird, like some of the actual writing. Like I've heard interviews with Tom Hardy where he talked about how like the original writing for it was actually pretty good, and that's why he signed on. And then all the stuff that he liked got cut, so it could be made into a 12. So I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic in that regard because why not? It's going to be a train wreck anyway. I don't. The thing with Alita Battle Angel is that kind of had a reason to exist. It wasn't really a popular manga. It wasn't really a popular anime. It was something that James Cameron loved and he wanted to mess around with tech for. And I'm like, cool. I want to know how big a budget it's getting, because if they give it a tiny budget, it's going to die. It is going to die a stupid, stupid death. But then I can't imagine them giving it a huge budget either. Like, I know Sony's a Japanese company, but this is obviously not for Japan.
Yeah, because the people from Japan who would want to watch this have already watched the anime, really. They're looking to hit a new market with a live-action adaptation.
Yeah, I'm just...
They're obviously bringing on a very Western cast because the writers and producers are all from American companies.
Yeah, and it's just like, so... And then you just get onto casting, like, who do you cast? Like, is there anyone, like, proper... If you're not going to put a huge amount... If you are going to put a huge amount of money behind it, who are you going to get to play these dumb parodies of heroes?
We can always see if Ryan Reynolds is willing to go bald again.
Ryan Reynolds has, in a nice way, too much personality.
Well, I'm trying to think of someone who can balance comedic timing with absolutely no actual acting ability at all, and also maybe bald if necessary. I don't know. I'm glad you brought up the Fast and Furious films because I watched Hobbs and Shaw recently.
Oh dear, that one I didn't watch. That one.
So if you're looking for bald actors, I'm sure Jason Statham and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson are also available.
There is one thing that I do want, and that is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as a pretty princess. What's his name?
The prisoner one, yeah.
The prisoner. That I think would be... Oh, no, actually, I'm going to go for it. I want Idris Elba as Saitama. Do it. Why not?
Give Idris Elba all the roles he can get.
Yeah, no, he doesn't deserve that, but he deserves a good role. Make Idris Elba the mean alien at the end. That'd be great.
How would you do the eye? Just that single monocular.
There's
no way to make that look good.
I just let Idris act and go, Idris, you do you. And yeah.
Jesus Christ, this movie
Such a bad idea.
Such a bad idea.
This is such a bad idea.
It's a movie with mutant animals, a giant, a spaceship, just a fish invasion. Like, none of this is going to look good.
I see two possible options. One, they give it a stupid amount of money, They get a big director for it. They get a big star, and it totally bombs because it looks weird as all hell.
There's no like if you really ramp up the superhero parody aspect, maybe, but it's not like the comedy of One Punch Man is. I wouldn't say subtle, but it's not like jokes, one-liners, easily marketable comedy.
Yeah, it's like
the experience.
It's like, oh, I'm bored. Oh no. He's like fighting against like this mad scientist. Oh no. Aha, have you finally seen that you shall be defeated? Oh no, I just realized I might miss the clearance sale at the shops because it's about to close. Can we get along with this? Because I want to get my discounted crab.
It's all about subverting expectations. That's kind of hard to market to a general audience. We know how well subverting expectations goes when it comes to fan bases.
I will feel much better when they actually have a director and a vague cast. But currently, this is just sure, do whatever you want. I will, and hopefully, it'll make more people watch the original, which is really, really good. Even the English dub is really, really good. Watch the English dub; it's fun.
Okay,
but just oh god, oh why do you do this to me? Me in particular, it's you. Oh dear. Sony and Shinzo Abe.
The anime Illuminati. The Illuminati are once again after John in particular.
Yep. Nope. They're taking everything I care for dearly. They're going to turn Danganronpa into a live action. I would watch that. I would so watch that.
No. You make Danganronpa into an actual, what's the term I'm looking for? Reality game show.
Have it as a procedural detective TV show. Danganronpa, the game we are currently playing on Switch, hashtag Geeks and Gaijins, Twitch/Geeks and Gaijins, in which you have a murder school in which a teddy bear forces a bunch of students to kill each other. This sounds like absolute trash, but go along with me, Thomas. I'm going to pitch this to you.
Okay.
So they're all high school kids. So what actors are closest to high school kids? I'm going to tell you this, Thomas. YouTube and Instagram influencers. You keep all the Japanese names, so they have to use the Japanese names when talking. And then you just remake the plot absolute line for line with the English translation. It has
regardless of how accurately they fit the character description.
Exactly. And the only thing that is originally Japanese is Monokuma, the evil bear headmaster, though that is just a bear painted white and black. But voiced by the original voice actor.
Not even like a Muppet situation, just a still teddy bear.
No, not a teddy bear, a bear, Thomas.
Why do you always have to surprise me with bears, John?
Because bears.
Why? You've been saving up a surprise bear for a while now, John.
Monokuma!
No.
Oh, dear. But no. So, basically, best case / worst case scenario, a bunch of YouTube and Instagram influencers get eaten by a bear. Whilst doing very, very badly translated English dub and calling each other and trying to pronounce the name Byakuya.
Byakuya, stop it.
Byakuya, you stop it, you. Who is this Hinamarus? Oh, God.
I can't wait to hear how they pronounce Nagi. Nagai!
Shimas.
Whilst you're in a good mood, still talking about things you really enjoy, how about you talk about more things you enjoyed?
We'll have to leave things that I like for next time, because do you know things that I like, Thomas?
Sleep.
Yes, and finishing this podcast. I hope the listeners
rude.
do not... Yeah. It's over, guys. This is the announcement. No. Yeah. We are Geeks and Gaijins. We are in all your social medias. Thank you for listening. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram with the Gaijin John, Twitch. Look up the Gaijin John for me taking pictures of that stuff I eat for y'alls.
You want to see what the heck a chocolate-covered crisp looks like?
Yeah,
That's the place to go.
that's all I can say. And yeah, stay safe. If you have any questions or you want to send us angry post, as usual, geeksandgaijins@gmail.com. If you have any recommendations, give us that 5-star review. Smash that like button. This
I
is
don't
on
know
YouTube.
what's going
We
on.
do put this on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube Geeks and Gaijins. Twitch streams. Those happen on Tuesdays and the weekend, usually a Saturday. But currently it's Golden Week, so you might get some Golden Week streams.
Hey.
Which means we might actually get close to finishing Danganronpa 1. We finished Trial 4. There's 2 more to go. They are gonna kill some kids.
I'm still not ready for whatever the heck is going on because I could
Oh.
barely keep up with the last trial because it was just.
It was beautiful watching Thomas's brain getting broken by Japanese cartoon. It really was. It was just like, if we wait for 5 minutes to talk this out, like Thomas might actually be able to work out what's going on. No, we keep on going. This is why Thomas is not in control of the game.
We do it for the people.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And the people was Thomas just going, wait, what? Wait, what? What?
Why is this happening? Why can't we just... No, stop. No, shush. Ah!
And on that note, arigato gozaimashita for listening.
Yeah, thank you all for coming. Hopefully see you next week.
Yay.
And stay safe out there and in there and just generally wherever you are.
Indeed. Bye.
Bye-bye.